Hi guys, it's me, Andrea. I will show you a notepad I made today, and I will use canvas. It's untreated canvas and this chipboard we call it grey carton or cardboard. So that's specially made for bookbinding. And this canvas, it is a bit like a jeans fabric, very, very sturdy and very, stable. So really nicely to use for bookbinding. And I glue everything down with this gel medium. That's a soft gel medium from Amsterdam. And that glues it together perfectly, really, believe me. I've done that several times, and you have to do it thoroughly, saturate the substrate really properly with it. And that when that's dry, that won't come off. So the edges here, I make sure that they are not too bulky. That's why I cut them down and I let them dry for a while with these clamps on. That's very important. And as I said, it's important to let everything dry, then it won't come off. So this is the spine that will go into the middle, and I will sandwich that between two layers of this canvas. This is a shorter one, and you can see that I always cut it to size. And a longer one, this longer one will cover then the whole front and back part. And as you can see, I won't measure. I'm not a measuring person. I almost everything eyeball it. I hardly ever measure, and for me it works. Okay, very rarely it can go wrong, but for me it works properly. So, and here you can see this measurement I use, but that was only to get a straight line. At this T ruler, it was only about a straight line, and that works basically. So lay that on top to level that out. The spine will go into the middle, then the other bit, oh, there's still a bit of fraying on that side. I will cut that off, I think, because I don't want to have it frayed. And it always bothers me. I don't like that. And away with all the threads, otherwise it gets glued down and gives the texture where you don't want it. But now, so level it out again and then make the marks where I want to have the spine, that it stays perfectly into the middle. And again, my gel medium, saturate it properly, and that will stick to it. And then the second or the shorter piece, it comes here on top. So this is actually a notebook or notepad for the hashtag CAC gift exchange event. And my exchange partner actually is Ina Solsbery. And we admire each other's journals for such a long time, and we always wanted to do that. And this is a perfect opportunity, and I thought about making this pad because I have two ways to make a journal or a pad, especially with loose pages. I don't like to work in books because I prefer loose pages. It gives me so much more freedom, and that's why I have these two ways of making a journal or a notepad. But the other way I make a journal, Ina does it as well. So I thought doing it this way much more interesting, because I think she has never done something like this before. And that I think will be the first one she got. What I do here, I make sure that the spine is properly stuck. And that's the most important thing, because the spine is the most sensitive part. It gets opened and closed and opened and closed. So that needs to be really, really attached properly. That's why I put an extra bit of gel medium on, and I left that drying under heavy books overnight. And here the edges, I make sure that the edges are completely glued down and it's nothing loose what could get caught. So this is my focal point. It's canvas I went over with my sewing machine, give it a bit of texture, and I wanted to use rust on top. I wanted to rust it completely. So I ran out of my preferred rust medium, and this is something I bought in the past, never liked it a lot, but I didn't have something else, so I used it. The problem here is it is a bit stubborn. You need to find the right moment to put the oxidation medium on top to make it rust, and it mustn't be completely dry, it mustn't be completely wet, so it needs to have a bit of stickiness when you put it on. That's what they say. Sometimes you catch it, sometimes you don't. This time I don't know what it was. It didn't want to work, you know. I put on again a layer of iron and waited and put the oxidation medium on top, and again it didn't work. I was so frustrated. So that's why I went on now with my cover, the outside, and started to decorate it here with the paint. That's all Amsterdam acrylic paint, and I stay with turquoise and greenish blue and the burnt sienna. I really love this combination. Absolutely beautiful. And I know Ina loves it too. So yeah, yippee. Absolutely fantastic. So for the inside, I use this napkin and I will cover the whole inside with this napkin. Try to do something with this dictionary pages, an old, very old German dictionary here with this old font. You can see it's beautiful. I love to work with this. And this is the word Freund, and that means friend. That's what I use. I thought I would put several pages down, but at the end I cover the whole inside with the napkin and put this page in the middle. So trying to find out how to put them down. And to glue them down, I use this fluid acrylic matte medium from Liquitex. I really prefer that. It leaves the surface a bit rougher. In the past, I used Mod Podge for that, and the Mod Podge leaves such a plasticky surface, and it's difficult to work with some media on top. So that's why I prefer this one, and it glues napkins down perfectly. I cover the whole area with this napkin. So, and as I said, I work together here with Ina, and we wanted to do something together for a long time. Journal-wise, we have had a collaboration in the past with our canvases. I don't know if you watched that, but that was very successful for both of us. We really liked what we got, but we wanted to have a journal or notepad made for each other. So that's what we do now, and I will put the link of Ina's video into the description box, and I would ask you to go and have a look at her video. I saw it already and I love it. Haven't had it. I didn't get it, but the texture on her journal, it's absolutely, it must be fantastic. You know, I can't wait to get it and have it in my hands. But yeah, it needs to be sent, and it takes a bit of time from the US to Germany, and I need to be patient. So to make this old dictionary page looking even older, it was already brittle and colored. So, but I use the vintage photo distress ink to go over it, and I tear it here and there to give it this very old and worn out look. Put it into the middle, and I thought I was finished with it. So, and this is this focal point with all the iron medium on top, and you can see not half of it is rusting. So what I try now with this crackle paste to cover up where still the normal iron is peeking through and where it hasn't rusted, and Yeah, and I thought I could rescue it, but I couldn't. No, it didn't work. And I even tried to put some, yeah, gold leaves for gilding on top, as you can see here. And I thought about a lot of stuff, but it didn't work, and I had to be realistic. And when I finally stopped putting this effort into it, it worked then for me. That's often the problem. You have to be, yeah, you are too, yeah, focused, and you're not, or not focused, you're not focused, that's a problem. you you can't think, you're so blocked, you know. So what I do, I give the surface of my books, I always give them a varnish finish, because this is a shiny one from Liquitex. It gives it not only a nice shine, it protects it. So from water splatters or even paint splatters, you can wipe it off with a damp cloth. And I thought I was finished here, but I thought this page, dictionary page, it looked a bit lonely there. So I thought, give it a bit of a border, and I used the crackle paste for that, and this Viva Decor stencil, and use only the border here. The it is no hortensia. I forgot the English. I always forget the English name for hortensia, but you can see what it is. And here you can see why I love this crackle paste so much. You can heat dry it here with your heat gun. It works perfectly. You see the crackles appear, and you don't have to wait hours and hours to let that dry. And I'm so impatient for that. That's why I really like it so much. So to give it a bit of a more dimension, I go around the edges with my black add-in, and I think it looks so much nicer. And I will put some color on top as well, and for that I use my Marabou art spray, and this is mixed media art spray. This is the magenta. I put it on quite a lot, that it can soak into the crackle and defines the crackle even more. And on top of that, it needed a bit of something dimension in the middle, and that's a pearl maker from Viva Decor in turquoise. I think the colors are going so fantastically together, this magenta and turquoise. So on here you can see what I did. At the end of the day, I took some golden fluid acrylic in titanium buff, covered everything, and now as long as the paint is still wet, I take it off through this stencil, through this butterfly stencil. And I think that was the best decision ever. I'm so much happier now. You will see I do a bit more to it. First I go around the edges to give it a bit more a solid line, to put everything together. Okay, jumping a bit forth and back here, that's the inside again, and I give it a bit of shading with this alcohol pen I use in a grey. I have quite a lot of different greys here from this pen. It's ideal for shading, and I do that outside on these butterflies as well, to give them even more dimension. They are looking really as they float over this piece. So, and you can still see a bit of rust, a bit of this gold leaf and the crackles. So I'm really happy with that. So for the title, I use this sticky alphabet letters. It's just enough space on the bottom here, and it says friendship. Friendship over a long distance, and yeah, it's fantastic what you can do nowadays, you know, meeting people from all over the world and build up a friendship without having met physically, you know. So, and because there is tons of texture on that now, and it's not really even the background, so that's why I use a silicone gel, and that will level the letters out. And the best bit is this last finish here with this gold wax to pick up the gold from inside the butterflies, and that I think gives it the last touch. and may finish it nicely. That's what I think. I'm so much at peace with it now. I shouldn't have done this desperate rusting thing. It was, wasting time. But that's how it works sometimes. You know that. We all know that. We all have been there, haven't we? So, okay. Oh, a bit of um, etching here with the gold gel pen around the letters. That gives it a nice touch. And then I will finish everything off with this varnish layer, the glossy varnish layer. As I said before, you can clean it then easily, whatever you drop on, remove it immediately, so that's important. So for the inside, I use some watercolor paper. It's the best thing to work with. You can work with watercolor paper or with watercolors and with everything else as well. So that's why I prefer to use it. But I needed, of course, the measurements from these holes, where to put the holes for my bookbinding screws. And that's what my notepad still needs. You know, we like to work on loose pages, and that's why I did that. But the outside or the front needed a bit, was a bit missing. And I thought, a bit of crackle through a stencil, this crackle stencil with normal modeling paste might be ideal, and it is really looks good. I won't leave it in this white. I will go over again with some Prussian blue. When that's dry, I will match up the stencil again and go over with a makeup sponge with this Prussian blue from Winsor and Newton. That's my favorite Prussian blue, actually. It's Winsor and Newton Prussian blue hue, so just in case you want to know. Love it. Fantastic color. So, and now this thing is so solid, so heavy with all this media on top of that. It has to be glued down properly, and that's why I use the E6000. And that needs, of course, several hours to dry. It gets the same treatment with this heavy books on top. That's dry now. And I put the last touch on top. That's the glossy varnish again to secure that, to protect it. And that's it. So I forgot, of course, to take some pictures. And it's on its way already in a box on the way to the US, sadly. So I can't show you some pictures. But this close-up is really good. And I think it will show you every detail. So this is the inside. And you can see this old dictionary page a bit better. I really like this print in this font. I really like this old way. It looks so vintagey, you know, and we have still so many books of this type around. They are about 100 years old. They started to print in the normal print, when was it? Beginning of 1900 or 1910, 1920, something like that, I think. Oh, this is the first page I made. It's only a wishing you a Merry Christmas thing. Nothing special. But I wanted to do the first page. So, okay. Still the inside. So, and that's from the reverse. That's only the stamp and my signature. And I like this distressy look. Really do. You can see the spine, that is so tight and so glued together, it won't come off. So now you will see the inside, the space you have. You can work on that, so dimensional. That's not a problem, whatever you put on. And the good thing is you can get out the pages and put them in again. And yeah, that's perfect. I think it's perfect. Now you will see a close-up from the front. And you can see this piece, yeah, what gave me quite a headache. But I'm really pleased with it now. And that's what it needed. You have to go with what the material tells you. The material, I always think the material you use wants to be made in a way, in a special way, and it talks to you, and you should listen to it. So it's a bit blurry, a bit farther out. Yeah, that's better. You can see the crackles here and really like this bit. So that's it. I hope, Ina, you like it a lot. And have a look for Ina's video. I put it in the description box, as I said. And I thank you all for watching. Just in case you are not watching one of my next videos before Christmas, I wish you such a happy and Merry Christmas. Have such a wonderful time and enjoy it. And I hope I will see you soon, all of you, with my next project. So thanks again for watching. Leave me some thumbs up and a nice comment maybe. So I would really appreciate that. So have a fantastic time, guys. See you then. Bye-bye.